There are moments in television history that hit like a thunderstorm, sudden, loud, and impossible to ignore. For fans of The Witcher, that thunder rolled across the entire fantasy world the moment Henry Cavill announced he would no longer play Geralt of Rivia. It wasn't just news, it felt like heartbreak. Memes exploded overnight, petitions spread across social media, and fans everywhere asked the question no one had an answer for. How do you replace a performance that already feels unforgettable? But while millions mourn Cavill's exit, a quieter story began forming behind the scenes, one built on creative tension, overwhelming pressure, changing visions, and the massive expectations attached to a global hit. And that story is what truly explains the cast change and the future of this franchise. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to subscribe to Star Gossips and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from Hollywood's heart. When The Witcher first premiered, something magical happened. Henry Cavill didn't just play Geralt, he embodied him. His voice, that deep gravelly tone, instantly became iconic. Fans admired the years of game knowledge he brought, the lore he memorized, and the tiny details he protected in every scene. His transformation was physical, emotional, and almost spiritual. Cast members adored him. Fans worshipped him. Even critics who disliked the writing admitted that Cavill nailed the role in a way no one else could. But even when everything looked perfect on the outside, a storm was building on the inside. Whispers circulated about disagreements with writers, long production schedules, and creative directions that didn't always match Cavill's vision. Some insiders claimed he wanted the show to follow the books more closely. Others suggested the studio wanted to push the story in a more mainstream direction. None of this was ever officially confirmed, but it created a quiet tension that everyone could sense. And beneath that tension, something was changing. Then came the announcement that felt like an earthquake across the fandom. Henry Cavill released a simple message, quiet but devastating. He would not return as Geralt after season 3. The role would instead be taken over by Liam Hemsworth. The internet erupted instantly. Fans cried, argued, laughed in shock, refused to accept it, and filled social feeds with disbelief. It felt like the continent itself had shattered. And yet, as fans mourned, Liam Hemsworth was quietly preparing for the biggest challenge of his career. Not to replace Cavill, not to mimic him, but to take on a character that millions believed belonged to one single face. Picture this for a moment. A dark forest, fog wrapping around gnarled branches, and a lone figure walking under the moonlight with a sword strapped to his back and destiny in his eyes. For 4 years, that figure was Henry Cavill. But destiny has a strange way of shifting, bending, and reshaping itself. Today, a new Witcher begins to walk the same path, not to override a legacy, but to continue a story that refuses to die. This transition is not about competition or replacement. It is about evolution, pressure, passion, and the weight of a global audience watching every move. When Liam Hemsworth was announced as the new Geralt, the reactions were mixed, hopeful for some, confusing for others, and downright shocking for many. Liam is talented, experienced, and capable. He has worked on major franchises, trained for intense physical roles, and proven he can anchor dramatic storytelling. But stepping into Cavill's boots, that is a mountain few actors would dare climb. Liam knew this, and insiders say he immediately began training in sword combat, physical conditioning, horseback riding, and emotional grounding. He studied Henry's performance, the books, and even the philosophical backbone of Geralt, a man who carries loneliness like armor and chooses honor even when it hurts. But Liam also wanted to bring something of his own. According to those close to the production, the writers had been leaning toward a Geralt who is slightly younger in posture, more emotionally revealing, and shaped by the trauma of the previous seasons. This means Hemsworth's Geralt is not meant to erase Cavill's, but to continue from who Cavill built him to be. The creators have emphasized that the transition is not a replacement, it is a shift in tone, arc, and evolution. Cavill's Geralt was the stoic warrior forged by battle. Hemsworth's Geralt will be the survivor of those battles, transformed by them, but still standing strong. And this shift matters because the Witcher universe is far bigger than one actor. The world contains kingdoms, politics, monsters, sorcerers, and destinies that stretch far beyond any single performance. Netflix is heavily invested in the franchise. They want future seasons, spin-offs, prequels, and continent-expanding stories. To them, Geralt is a foundation that needs longevity. Henry Cavill, while deeply beloved, had boundaries, commitments, and a different creative vision. Liam Hemsworth brings flexibility, long-term commitment, and excitement to grow with the character for years to come. It's not about who is better. It's about two different journeys crossing at a critical moment. Behind the scenes, the cast reacted with warmth rather than resistance. Freya Allen reportedly expressed excitement for the new dynamic. Anya Chalotra said she was open to exploring emotional shifts in the upcoming seasons. Crew members shared stories about Liam being polite, eager, and heartbreaking from day one. Of course, everyone felt sadness. Cavill built a family on set, but instead of breaking, the family chose to grow. Season 5, according to early whispers, is shaping into one of the darkest and most emotionally intense chapters yet. Geralt's arc is entering a new stage, less survival, more purpose. The political landscape is tightening, alliances are shifting, and threats are rising from every direction. The northern kingdoms, Nilfgaard, the Brotherhood, everyone is preparing for war, and Geralt, standing at the center, is changing. The showrunners confirmed that the transition will not be ignored, but woven into the narrative. with emotional purpose. Geralt will evolve physically, spiritually, and psychologically, reflecting the weight of past battles and future burdens. And throughout it all, the bond between Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri remains the emotional heart of the story. For fans, hope still burns, because every legendary story has chapters, some written by different authors, some carried by different voices. Cavill gave us a Geralt carved from steel, stoic, powerful, and fiercely loyal. Hemsworth may give us a Geralt carved from fire, evolving, emotional, and unpredictable. Both deserve space in the saga. If Season 5 succeeds, it will be because Hemsworth honors what came before him while forging a new path forward. And that is how legends survive. The entertainment industry has witnessed similar transitions before, though few carried the emotional weight of this particular change. When actors depart beloved roles, audiences experience a form of collective grief that speaks to the power of performance and storytelling. The character becomes intertwined with the actor's face, voice, and mannerisms, creating an almost inseparable bond in viewers' minds. Breaking that bond requires careful handling, respect for what came before, and courage to move forward despite inevitable resistance. What makes The Witcher's situation unique is the transparency surrounding the change. Rather than hiding behind vague statements or corporate language, the production has acknowledged the significance of Cavill's departure and the challenge Hemsworth faces. This honesty, while potentially risky, demonstrates respect for the audience's intelligence and emotional investment. Fans appreciate being treated as partners in the journey rather than passive consumers, expected to accept whatever decisions are made. The source material itself offers guidance for navigating this transition. Andrzej Sapkowski's novels present Geralt as a character who evolves, suffers, transforms, and continues despite overwhelming odds. He is not static, but dynamic, shaped by his experiences and relationships. This literary foundation provides a framework for understanding how Geralt can change actors, while remaining true to his essential nature. The books have survived multiple interpretations across different media, proving that great characters transcend any single portrayal. Looking ahead, the pressure on Season 5 cannot be overstated. It must justify the transition, honor Cavill's legacy, establish Hemsworth's interpretation, and advance the overarching narrative, all while maintaining the quality that attracted audiences in the first place. The writers face the challenge of crafting storylines that feel organic rather than forced, allowing the cast change to serve the story rather than derail it. Early reports suggest they are leaning into the difficulty rather than avoiding it, which could prove either brilliant or problematic depending on execution. The broader implications extend beyond this single show. How Netflix handles this transition will influence future decisions about recasting in other franchises. Success could establish a template for managing actor departures gracefully. Failure might make studios more hesitant to recast beloved characters. The industry watches carefully, aware that streaming platforms increasingly depend on long-running franchises that may outlast their original casts. In the end, The Witcher has always been about destiny, the path you walk even when you don't want to. Actors change, stories shift, and chapters close, but destiny remains, and the continent continues to breathe, roar, and burn with untold stories. Henry Cavill walked the path with pride and dignity. Now Liam Hemsworth takes up the sword, carrying not only Geralt's legacy, but the expectations of millions. Whether fans accept, resist, or remain uncertain, one truth stands firm: The Witcher's journey is far from over, and the path continues forward always. The White Wolf still hunts, the destiny still calls, and the legend endures through transformation.